because just like Panu started learning law from the Kufuor na papa of law firm, so he had no option than to listen to what his mentor would say. And when the Kufuor didn't drag at the free abruchiri by a son and says swear and become a lawyer. A Kufuor has no certification. Ever seen there? Where is your certificate? Osiaira. Kwasi Afodi Nechi say yemfa power and sama Bawumia. When you vote for Bawumia, you are giving power to Kufuor. Moment fan film ni hu de ekọ hwe de ekọ eye mo attorney general aka sembi na na dan kweku for the beka sa enra obey concert ni wie no obey read the state of the day no na ekufu the speech mu no say eye attorney general is save Ghana 10 trillion ego vobo chiwo before we all na dan kweku ado agove be gina we no the obeka che say attorney general no document or to the nim no ekere say attorney general is save Ghana 10 trillion na ni nyina ne say o say attorney general no judgment debt anka o say Ghana e ka anka o say e boy yetua no otima stop ni nyina 10 trillion hey go for we 10 trillion Ghana cedis attorney general we and is save inti nyina no and ade chi ye na ekobusa attorney general say oh na na dan kweku for say we save Ghana 10 trillion na asemino one I watch because before the president speaks on anything, say Okasa Afa Energy one, the energy ministry will have to produce a document to prove to Akufo-Addo to say, in fact, Mr. President, this is a document, these are the facts, you can speak on it. President Onjina Kasakeke, in this OTA State of the Nation, every figure the president gives out, every statement he makes, it has been verified 1,000 times. And it's a president abegina ho na okan semi na later ko hu say e tra, then it means it's a president no and that department and that ministry no person no they deliberately decided to lie to you because they think you are stupid. Enti Akufo-Addo ebegina parliament here oye wie no and the join is for call a year attorney general say oh Akufo-Addo say we save here 10 trillion Ghana cedis. Now, Mumienti Attorney General so explanation to Asame Akufo-Addo Kanye.
The savings that the president announced were actually an underestimation. The president grossly underestimated it, and it was actually my doing because every minister has a responsibility of bringing to the president's attention the work that the minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows and to be unnecessary sensational. But if you go through 10 trillion is just arising in a single case. If you go through, the savings are actually over 14 billion. 14 trillion. Yes, I can refer to this matter, China Jinlen, which the Supreme Court set aside only last year. The judgment that year, if you look at the figure here, originally, and then all the time, Ganashir, it was in the High Court of Justice, I think in Kumasi or so. The transport minister actually came here, made a lot of noise about it because it affected his account and all. And we took it up and compared to situations where ministers and the also administration will team up and orchestrate and facilitate judgment debts. It's this amount of 352 billion. So that the figures are even dizzy. You can't even 352 million Ghana cedis. 352,662,144.41 pesos. And then an amount of almost $1 billion, $988 million, 294,313. That is it. So almost $1 billion plus 325 million Ghana cedis. So the Supreme Court again in 2022, actually 2023, here, in the conclusion, says the application before the court that we have quashed the ruling given was expressly to set aside the Ghana share order and without prejudice making the controversial setting aside order and they granted the order quashing all these proceedings. And interestingly, in this judgment, the court actually held that, as we contended, that the persons who had mounted the action even had no capacity whatsoever, and the identities could not be made out. A person
this is the Attorney General of Ghana. President, they say, you, the Attorney General, you saved us 10 trillion. The Attorney General sits on national television to say he deliberately gave the president wrong figure so that it doesn't raise unnecessary eyebrows. Na momuno, onu momu save 14 trillion. This is Ghana lawyer Penyini. And the president was about to go on TV to speak to the nation. And indirectly, we have given you a job to do. And Wabetina TV, so he's telling you that, the president grossly understated. In fact, I deliberately.
The Punch TV.
And 14 trillion, and 10 trillion. Really? Like, are you kidding me? Attorney General, no, Etubitina TV, so. Eka say, we save the 14 trillion. The president didn't obeka ekrano or share then or my president say obeka 10 trillion. And he's telling us, oh, Sika we saving in our court. In some require indeed be. And you sit there and you ask yourself, now we nipa. And how low go for the politics aba? Now, in the first place, Attorney General, what are your losses? Since you became Attorney General of Ghana, Sika send ye losing through judgment debt. Nancy Antiana, $300 million. So the question is, you are telling us to say, the president said you have saved us 10 trillion. And you are telling us you gave the president wrong figures, but the real figure is 14 trillion. And we're asking you, what are your losses? Now, the whole thing we are talking about here, and I say it's a joke. The Attorney General has been given a job to do. And his job is to save and make sure Obi Muyemfaso is to use the law to protect the sovereign state, to protect us, to protect our assets, to protect the citizens, to protect Ghana. And you, Attorney General, that is your job. And to say Attorney General Peter Okachere say, your fan is our watchman. I'll make sure say Obia refio TV ngane. Now at the end of the day, no adechi na so Obia mura ifio wa. I was say Attorney General na catch say yembo na baso. But you are paid to man the door. You are paid to protect the door. Give us security. That is why every month you are paid. You are given a car, you are given a house, you are given women, you are given salaries. But then Attorney General comes out to tell us to say, I have done well. President today with Jimmy Man 10 million but I have done 14 trillion. The question here is, now what are your losses? So now you are telling us to say, as we sit here, you can cook fraudulent documents and give to the president to read to us. Then it means you yourself, the document you gave to the president might not be a legitimate document. It means you lied. You are a lawyer, for crying out loud. You are the Attorney General, for crying out loud. Every single statement that comes from you should be factual. So when you tell us that the president understated, but you have the original thing by you because you don't want to raise eyebrows. Whose eyebrows are you raising here? Are you foolish? Whose eyebrows are you trying to raise? Nobody's eyebrows. The president is supposed to talk to us, and you feed the president with wrong information, and you foolishly sit on TV to admit that, yes, you deliberately did it. Hey, wait a minute. What kind of Attorney General are you? How did you law ban Usiaye? Where is your integrity? Where is your integrity as an Attorney General? I am shocked. In fact, when I heard this, I was shocked. I was like, this guy, these are statements and this kind of statement. So you have led the president to mislead the country. That's it. You have misled the president to mislead the country. Two misleads here. You misled the president, and then the president came to mislead us, because when the president says something, we know they are factual. And these fools are running through our courts, paying their way out and saying, say, yes, we are the landed. The man basically on TV is telling Ghanaians, I misled the president, and the president misled you, and that I have the right figures. How? So tomorrow, this Attorney General will go and sit and sign a contract for Ghana, and then somebody, a government institution will sign a contract with another country, and this same Attorney General will be the one to review it. He will review it today, and tomorrow come tell us, oh, the review I reviewed. What I did was, because there was a reason why I put this in there, because I didn't want to raise eyebrows. This man is a criminal. There is no integrity. These are not people who are supposed to lead the Attorney General's office. No, listen to him. He said he deliberately gave the president wrong figures. Jesus.
The savings that the president announced were actually an underestimation. The president grossly underestimated it. And it was actually my doing. Because every minister has a responsibility of bringing to the president's attention the work that the minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows and to be unnecessary sensational. Mr. has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows.
Jesus Christ! Is this guy a lawyer? This is Ghana's Attorney General. Oh, so he's deliberately doing things. Sorry. He's deliberately misleading the president to mislead us. There was the international community there watching, listening. And you, the Attorney General, the senior lawyer of this country, you sit on TV and say you deliberately misled the president. Now, you see, now, before 2017, I made a documentary about Ekufuado. Ekufuado, I'm a lawyer. Then got a picture.
Now let's say some more with the man Nana Dankwa Ekufuado, who is Ghana's current president. Let's share a few things that we know about him. In 1979, President Ekufuado co-founded the law firm Ekufuado Prempeh & Co., which has become one of the prominent law firms in Ghana. Now, during his heydays as a lawyer, President Ekufuado used his law practice to champion the cause of human rights, rule of law, justice, freedom, and democracy. Now, here's a profile of President Ekufuado as a lawyer.
He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II.
Freedom and democracy. Now, here's a profile of President Ekufuado as a lawyer.
He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II. He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II. He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II.
Nana Ekufuado is my personal lawyer. Yeah.
That MVP way, why not go for buy? Nana do Danko Ekufuado too for personal lawyer. Nana Piao, hey, Otu for Nana, Otu for Domi. Iti Kadembe Kenya Mejai. He was the personal lawyer of a 2-4 or 2. Nana do Danko Ekufuado ada Ghana fool. Ghana for me be trouble. Politics now go for anymore, you know. Omu Jimimo. Ghana, your last chance, any chance we are money. If you guys don't change the MPP, Ghana will be like Rwanda. Someone to change the MPP where you will be like Chad. Sa Ghana for de bia mo kase nyame doye, nyame wayafa. This is the time I also move nyame domo. And as soft one penny for ne imams in penny for more Ghana, omo bom paye no kuremuno. Omunim say God has given us only one lifeline. One. And if we fool again and hand power over to Bawumia, any MPP. Let's say, my member video, no, I'm say Ekufuado. The history 2017 obedi president no ne bio ni emuhwe.
Now let's say some more with the man Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is Ghana's current president. Let's share a few things that we know about him. In 1979, President Akufo-Addo co-founded the law firm Akufo-Addo Prempeh & Co., which has become one of the prominent law firms in Ghana. Now, during his heydays as a lawyer, President Akufo-Addo used his law practice to champion the cause of human rights, rule of law, justice, freedom, and democracy. Now, here's a profile of President Akufo-Addo as a lawyer.
He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II.
Nana Akufo-Addo is my personal lawyer. He has never charged me for his legal services.
In 1975, after staying in France for 5 years as a lawyer at the now defunct New York-based international law firm Koudai Brothers, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo returned home to Accra and in 1979 co-founded the law firm Akufo-Addo Prempeh & Co., which has become one of the prominent law firms in Ghana. President-elect of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, actually worked at his law firm here at Adabraka in Accra, and we understand that he was in this office working tirelessly day and night, preparing ahead of his cases.
He's a very simple man. Over the years, we've enjoyed eating yokagaye and wache and bullfruit with him, and therefore, I think that he's the kind of person that Ghana needs at this time.
I recall having come here doing a letter for him as a lawyer. And I believed myself then. I thought that I had enough of the education to enable me to write letters. Upon completion of the letter, I sent it to him and said, that wasn't good enough. So he took me through it. And after it was done, I sent it back to him, given that he had provided all the input. Then he said, no, but you are the lawyer. Sign it and send it over to them. And that encounter changed my whole disposition and my practice.
About 61 Ghanaian lawyers who passed through his law firm are among the most outstanding lawyers at the Ghanaian bar today. They include Sophia Kufu, Justice of the Supreme Court, lawyers Daniel Afari-Yeboah, Philip Addison, Joe Gatti, a former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alex Kweno, Frank Davis, Eslo Wusu, Atachia, Akotampao, Yoni Kulendi, Kwame Kufu, and Godfred Dame.
Nanado was a tickler, for correct grammar and punctuation. You present him with a draft process, you do so many corrections, you get exhausted. But that is because of the pursuit of excellence.
He was well known for giving free legal assistance to the poor and fought for the rights and liberties of the Ghanaian people. What should Ghanaians expect under a President Akufo-Addo administration?
Excellence and excellence. Ghanaians should realize that, under Nanado's presidency, 7 o'clock is 7 o'clock. It's not 7-1. He doesn't tolerate lateness to any program. And so Ghanaians will have to relearn some of these things that we have been doing in the past, the African time business. Nanado doesn't tolerate African time. He doesn't know it.
You see, lawyers, they were preparing themselves to take over this country. Asla, Dien, Atachia, you see, they Kulendi and Yoni Kulendi, or Supreme Court. May his soul rest in peace, Akotampao. These were people who started the ganging up with the Akufo-Addo. And they basically sat down and said, let us put this guy up. And if we are able to make Akufo-Addo go up there, we will all get our positions. They are the ones running this country. So the agenda was set from way back. Actually, when you're smart, they are playing you people. They came to take your wealth. They had sat down, they had planned how they were going to present Akufo-Addo to you. And because we are foolish, because of stupid fools like Kofi Bentilmo, idiots sitting on TV to say Isankomamo, Kweku Bakumo, Kwame Sefa Kaimo, so what's this one? Sankofono are all from the lower tribes.
The Punch
because Akufo-Addo money, Aslamone, Atachiamone, Mebochrewa, Sankofo went through that law firm. Because that is where you can be trained to understand. Say, Ejapadieno, you have to be part of it. Just get a law degree, get a certification. In the end, MPP set up now. Akufo-Addo law firm and or their mamu say Ghana government. And I'm winning. Moshe MPP set up no. Now check it where everybody is. Godfred is from Akufo-Addo's law firm. You know that. Akufo-Addo in the law firm, my mom will say, I'm on random country. No, say that's why you are here. Because 90% of those people, they just went to read. They don't know how governance is. And don't think I'm more brand. No. Somebody who reads law is not going to be a good president. Too. So because of a law, it does not make him intelligent. Too. Law, you read. When you read law and they take the law from you, apart from that, you need to. So there's a difference between somebody who is a politician who basically wants to go through the mill, learn and serve. And we've been internal mobile say John Mahama your position in be or a president because John Mahama started class 1. He has gone through the political education. And to say or started class 1 or so person graduate teacher or person professional teacher. John Mahama has gone to primary school, he has gone to junior high school, he has gone to senior high school, he has gone to training college. Now he is a teacher in the classroom. He has worked at a district level. Into Ojinaho Naso catch teacher Nike to Awaba say you know something, this is not how you prepare your notes. He knows what he's talking about because he has been there. Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, only this group of people, they didn't come to serve you people. Because oh yesuya lobby into they see everyone beneath them as a fool. So they group themselves, they give themselves certificates, and then they title themselves. They wear suit and they borrow accent. The Kude brothers na yekano. Kude brothers ever seen that no letter has come from anybody who practiced with the Akufo-Addo in France. At Kude brothers said, I've written a book and that I've written Akufo-Addo's name in that I practiced with him at Kude brother. It's a lie. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo did not go to law school. Ne papa and a son in Satan or a prime minister. Justice Akpalu na oye ne papa student and ne papa catch and say on swear Akufo-Addo in his own office. And Intina Buse Akufo-Addo say, who is your classmate in Ghana Law School? Ontuminka. Because Justice Akpalu, that time, no, a coup had happened. Akufo-Addo's father was prime minister. There was no Supreme Court. So there were 3 judges who were basically acting as High Court and presenting as Supreme Court. Justice Akpalu technically was the Chief Justice. So yeah, the Akufo-Addo ran Justice Akpalu office because Justice Akpalu started learning law from the Akufo-Addo Nepapa law firm. So he had no option than to listen to what his mentor would say. And when Akufo-Addo didn't drag at the Tinifri Abruchiri by a son and said swear and become a lawyer. Akufo-Addo has no certification. Ever seen there? Where is your certificate? Osiaira. Kwasiafo Dinechi say, "Yemfa power ensama Baumia." When you vote for Baumia, you are giving power to Akufo-Addo.
Yama owi akwa baba Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College a school power a TV so any radio so dwumadie. Ya suye e wo Kumase atonsu. Baby a uwo bia opese ba Mansa Media College. Na be hu dwumadie yedi ne honma yentie dwumadie yedi no Amansan Media College.
Se usua bribi wo media mu ana opese ohunu bribi biara efa media ho enso eche kwa
Amansan Media College e wo homa
ye wa achechefo a wa kwadiri yie wa adetwemu na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam wonsam twemu no ye kire bribi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinicha ni bebura ekeka ho wa multimedia mu nso ye kire bribi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebura ekeka ho ye betumi nso aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahudie adwuma ahodo nyinaa mu esan se ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara yɛma yɛn adesuafoɔ kwan ma ɔkɔ yɔ deɛ yɛatwerɛ wɔn adesua dan mu no
ahwefo ehu ekame ese obi biara ɔwɔ bosomtwe ase enim abakɔsɛm a ɛfa nsuo yi ho menya abɔfra ketewa bi wɔ ha ɔno so sɛ onim abakɔsɛm a ɛfa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafoɔ yɛ mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra so se the trending issues near kɔsoɔ ɛwɔ abɛɛfo tentan fidie ne so ɛbɛsommo midin na naeje wa akɔdeɛ
Amansan Media College ɛma wo deɛ wobɛhia biara wɔ nkutahodie mu